I was just at an outlet. It's called Gloria Outlet, and I'm coming here to buy a pair of new running shoes. And I thought it would be pretty nice to do a video right here, a little driving video, driving experience video right here. But I couldn't find a shoe, and then I made a mistake that my camera wasn't on the whole time, so I couldn't keep my recording, and I couldn't keep the recording because my camera wasn't on. And then I didn't get any shoes, so I'm determined to make the video. So I'm gonna get the video done right. I'll do it again since we're gonna drive back. So this will be a little driving video, actually for the third time. Let me explain. Okay, for the third time I'm doing this video. I actually went out last weekend to record a driving video because my family got this new car. It's the BMW 118i. It's got the seat position memory for 2 drivers, so that's pretty good. All right, ready to go. Let's get in. All right, so this is the BMW 118i. It's pretty cool. It's got those purple essence light where you can see it dark. Not sure what the real purpose is, but yeah, that's what it is. It's got this really big screen for all the systems, navigations and all that. And it's got digital dash. It's pretty cool. Well, just let me start off the car first because it's really warm in here. Hopefully my microphone can pick out the sound. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's really easy to see, but no, I'm still used to Google a little better, so I'm still using my phone. Anyway, let's get the AC up. That'll do. Okay, so let's talk about this car a little bit. It's got a digital dash where you have the speedometer there. Here it shows you the RPMs that it's going on. It's full gas right now. Here it's got the auto light, the auto headlight, so you'll detect based on the brightness. It's all good, standard stuff. So I figured I would like to do a video about the driving experience of this car because family got this car, and I'm trying to look online to find any driving videos of this car, but all I can find are the sports version, the 135M, and nobody really drive it, they just review it. So you know how the review video go, you get to see what the car is like and all that. So I figure I like to do a little bit of a driving experience video. So I'm going to head down to this little national park, which will include a little bit of city driving, a little bit of highway driving, and a little bit of mountain driving till we get to our destination. And today it's a nice sunny day out, so I figured it might be a cool little video. So what I'm gonna do too is to use my headgear with my sports cam can't really see. Let me get it out here. Get the light. So I'll use my sports cam, my overhead sports cam. I put this on my head. That's why I'm wearing a hat right now, so I can put like this and do the recording without affecting my vision. And then I have adjusted closer to my eye level, a little bit closer to my eye level, because the other day I tried this thing out a little bit too high, then you can't see anything, just blocked by the visor the whole time. So anyway, so the BMW 118i, the 2020 version, it's got 3 driving mode. One is sport, one is comfort, one is eco pro. Which one of those probably save more gas than the other? And there's difference too. So basically it changes the suspension, and it also changes the transmission setup and the gear ratio to make it more sporty, more powerful to start up, more acceleration. And the other ones say more gas, doesn't have as much acceleration. I'm guessing that's all that is, but not 100%. Here's the auto on and off for the engines. New cars have this. Not sure why. Save gas, I guess. But then every time it stops and try to start up, I feel like the car's gonna stall. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And then traction control. Not gonna turn that off, but there is the option. The navigation tab thingy here. It's a writing board on top and a navigation button. You don't really have to do this. I mean, you could just push the touch screen, but there they are, and some of the options. The back is actually very roomy. So I went out last weekend and I did a bunch of recordings just to find out my other cell phone where I do the sound recording from messed up. I used the wrong app, wasn't too used to it because it's been a while, and then the sounds are all bad. So I didn't use that video yet. I mean, I guess I could use that video if I want to, but I haven't used that video yet. So I figure I come out again and do the video. And then just now when I come into this place, this is an outlet where I want to buy some running shoes. the video, my head recording device, the sports cam, didn't record anything because I installed it upside down and I accidentally pressed the power button where it's supposed to record, and it didn't actually record anything. So that was a waste. I do have my 4K recording, but without the headgear, a lot of things I talk about in the video didn't make much sense. So basically with the sports exterior, but this is a 3-cylinder turbo version, which it has 140 horsepower and about 160 pound-feet of torque as far as I can read. And yeah, that's not exactly a powerhouse, but you know, the car is not so bad at all. It's about how you can utilize this power than it is a raw power from the car. So that's the GPS from the car. I'm going to have to use the GPS from the car because right now I have my phone actually recording some 4K 60 FPS videos for some better shots of the driving, as well as later on a review on this phone. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Now I'm going to an outlet, a pretty good outlet, because I need to buy new running shoes. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm actually take this opportunity and let's go for a drive. Now this will be mostly highway driving. That ought to be pretty cool. I actually went out and did this video last week. I went someplace else. There's some highway driving, there's some city driving, and there's some mountain road driving. However, my recording, the sound recording, didn't decide to do it right. It's the first time that I use my other phone as a recording device, and then it didn't record right. It sounded really weird. I was using the wrong app for it. So yeah, this time around it should be good. I have my microphone on my shirt. Hopefully I can record some better sounds. Hopefully I can capture some other sounds too, like say engine sounds or other car noises. That's what I wanted to get. And let's talk about this car and a little bit about the traffic in Taiwan. Yeah, this will be fun. Let's do that. There are some differences in the rules compared to Canada and America, where first of all, there is no red light right turn. It's kind of like in Britain, you're not allowed to do right turns at red light. Well, that actually slow things down a lot of times. Like, I don't know if you can see, perhaps one of the camera, I don't know if you can see that the traffic light takes about 90 seconds to you have to wait 90 seconds. You can turn right, you can move forward. So a lot of times the traffic gets held up by the traffic lights. But yeah, another thing that's very much Taiwanese, it had to do with the motorcycles, all the scooters on the road. So there's a lot of scooters on the road. A lot of people that comes here actually a little bit afraid to be driving here, but honestly, it's really not that bad at all. There is a certain pattern in the chaos, so to speak. So yeah, so the car, well, it's not a powerhouse, but it's a really nice cruiser, surprisingly. I mean, it's a hatchback, but I'm sitting here with plenty of room to move around. Well, maybe not my butt, but when I'm sitting here comfortably. And then there were a couple of occasions where I drive pretty far, about 2.5 hour drive, 2 hour drive at one sitting, and then it's actually very comfortable. I didn't get tired at all, and I was quite surprised. That's pretty good. This car is a very nice cruise car, because when you drive out to the highway speed, it just rolls. It's very comfortable. And the car, it's got 3 different modes, right? It's got the sports mode, the comfort mode, and Eco Pro. Those are all different modes for different transmission settings and different spring settings for the suspension. So they could be used for different purpose. For example, if I'm just going out to the highway and go someplace, I set it to comfort mode. The comfort mode is, it's comfortable, and then I don't got to worry about a thing, right? It's got what you would need if you're just driving down the road. But if you're in the some kind of a rush hour in the traffic jam, maybe you're trying to get to some place a little bit more agile, maybe you want to set it to sports mode. Sports mode's got a pretty good acceleration, all that stuff. So with the sports mode, it can maneuver really well. Yeah, so you can really get maneuver really nicely with the sports mode. You can take the traction control off if you want to, and then power wise, you really just need to get used to the car. That's really all it is. Here we are again. We just at the outlet. I didn't find any shoe that fits my feet, which is too bad. I wear US 14. It is large, but it's nothing ridiculous, and I couldn't find any. Whatever. But since I am going home, I'm doing this video again. So let's do that. Oh my God, there's always something, isn't it? I'm trying to record this, but my microphone has just fell off. Jesus Christ, come on, man. Just trying to record a video. Hopefully I can capture the sound good like this. Hopefully. So, but just, yeah, hopefully we're capturing the sound good with this. Without the protection, and it's not really hooked up to, I guess when I was putting on the seatbelt, that's when it fell off. Okay. So basically what I'm doing right now is trying to get onto the highway. All right, because this drive will mostly be a highway drive. Okay, so inside of the car, we got the GPS system. Very obvious. That is quite a big screen actually. The GPS system, I suppose it's pretty good as far as function goes, but it's got some things that didn't make very much sense. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, I'm used to using a cell phone, using my Google as a GPS, the way it displays things, the way it suggests your roads, or if you're going the wrong way, the way you're resuggesting your roads, and the way it tells you how to get to certain lanes, the way it tells you how to turn or where to turn, and then what happens after your turn. For example, you're getting onto the highway, maybe there is a lane that turns left, another lane that turns right. It will tell you that exactly. Now this system does it differently. So it's really hard to get used to the BMW's GPS system, and everything, as you can see, everything is green. It's so hard to tell them apart. So yeah. You want to get in, idiot. Anyway, everything's the same color. It's really hard for me to tell which way am I going. I mean, as far as my concern, you're supposed to follow this along, go onto the highway, but everything is green. I mean, here there's some yellow. Are those yellow means a little bit of traffic? Are those red means more traffic? If this is going to be green, why is your path to your destination also the same green? There's something that doesn't make sense here. It's really weird. But aside from that, it's a really good system. If you actually know the role, you just need some assistance. This is pretty good. The dashboard, there's the dashboard. It tells you which way to go from the GPS. So whatever you set on the GPS, it will show on your main dash next to the speedometer. So that's good. And yeah, everything's digital dash. It's interesting. Nothing bad. It looks pretty cool. What else we got here? Now, AC, it is what it is. Here's some controls over down here. Usually you see those numbers, you associate them with radio, but as you can see up here, it's yeah, it's a capacitive touch little panel there, and then yeah, it's basically a quick access button to not just for radio, but to other function of the device. Connecting the Bluetooth to the car is pretty easy, but it's very particular. You know, I really do like when a vehicle, you know, just have a universal thing. Don't try to do too much with it. Right now, I have it set to sports mode. I just drive this whole way with the sports mode. The sports mode give you a lot more acceleration to the start. Yeah, that's the GPS talking. So it gives you a lot of acceleration to start off. So when you're in the traffic like this, or if you need to switch lane and stuff like that on your journey to wherever you're going, I think the sports mode is going to help, because it really is just a 3-cylinder turbo. You'll be fine if you know how to utilize the power of this car. Even though it's not very powerful, but you can drive it like it's a powerful car. There's speed cameras everywhere. Those are the problem. And then normally the speed limit it's at 50 kilometers an hour, where in Canada at least, standard regular roads will be 60 kilometers an hour. Basically, in overall, the speed limit here it's slower than North America. A lot of people afraid of driving in Taiwan. I don't see any reason to. Do you hear this? I really don't like this sound very much. This is so loud. And the steering wheel is really light with this material here. Okay, we're on the highway now. This car have driver assistant technologies in it. It's got one of those things where it help you stay in lane when you're on the highway. So right now we're on the highway. If you can see over there, little green light there, it is activated. If I didn't have any signal on, and if I try to change lane, my steering wheel will try to turn back and find me stay in lane. Yeah, well, I guess it's good in a way, but oh, my camera just hit it. Yeah, so I guess it's good to have a safety system like that, but a lot of times when you try to switch the lane, you didn't have your signal on quick enough, and then it tried to fight you a little bit. It feels really weird when the steering wheel keep fighting you about it. So yeah, everybody's going a little slow. Let's pass these people. That guy's kind of fat. See a little triangle, yellow triangle? That, it's another safety feature. It basically checks your blind spot for you. It tells you if there's a car coming up from your blind spot. If you can see the blind spot, perhaps, or something, I guess it could be helpful. But I don't really use that. I suppose it's good to know. I mean, you never know what situation you're being in that you might not be able to check the blind spots. And then that little system could be very helpful. Or you're just not as confident on the road. That little system would definitely help a lot. Can you see from my 4K recording on my phone? Can you see in the distance where you see the buildings, the cities, and then in the background there's the mountains, and then behind the mountain or above the mountains there are the clouds? Yeah, you know, that is a very, very common scenery in Taiwan. Taiwan has so many mountains. Every time you go onto a trip, you're bound to see a lot of natural beauty, even just on the highway. So I always love to drive on the highway. Not exactly a rush hour, but I always love to drive on the highway because you get to see all these things. You see a lot of mountains passing by next to you. You get to see a lot of coastlines. There's a lot of coastlines. You get to see city stuff like this. There's a lot of city stuff. Yeah, every time you drive on the highway, it's a comfortable thing. I'm always happy when I'm driving on the highway. It's great. I just passed this guy. What you hear there is my dash cam. Here's a story about the dash cam. You see, in Asia, dash cam is standard equipment in cars. But for European cars, it's not necessary. This car here doesn't have dash cam. So then a dash cam had to be installed, a third-party dash cam. Well, why not? Dash cams are very useful. We get to the point where dash cams are high quality. You install in front of your car, it's not a privacy thing. You really just get into your car and then you'll record while you drive. It's so helpful to report accidents that you see on the road, so we know what happened really, or if you self get into some kind of trouble, there is the record of what's happening. I think dash cam. This is the era. This is the time where dash cam. It's right to have dash cams. It should be a standard equipment in the cars. I mean, you got backup cameras. You got parking assistance cameras and things like this. But why not a dash cam? It's a standard equipment for the car. It's really strange that some of us still think dash cam is not necessary. I think this day and age, dash cam, certainly is necessary, because we'll be installing one of those third-party ones over there. It's all ugly. I didn't like it, but it was just saying something. What's it saying? It's saying about speed cameras. So every time a speed camera coming up, it'll tell you a speed camera coming up, the speed limit is something. And then if you're driving over that speed limit, I guess it uses GPS to calculate your speed. You're driving about a speed limit, it will ding. It keep dinging until you slow down. But otherwise it ding a few times, it'll go away. But it's not always accurate because it uses GPS. No, usually you don't buy a very expensive one. For the cheap one, GPS, So here's the thing. With this car, if you can see over there, just underneath my speedometer, if you can see, there is, it tells you the speed limit that on the road that you're on now. In Taiwan, these are official information you can see from Saddle Road, and then it's built into this car. So right now, what I can see is I can drive 100 kilometers an hour on where I am right now. I'm going at 90 something right now. So I don't really need a third-party dash cam tell me the speed camera coming up, because I know exactly how fast I'm supposed to go. And I actually do like that Suzuki. That is a nice looking Suzuki, little nice Swift. Anyway, so I know exactly how much I'm supposed to drive, and then I really don't need anything to tell me what the speed camera is, because if there's a speed camera, there will be a sign next to it telling you there's a speed camera. They don't hide these things, like they hid them, but then they also tell you it's there. They just don't tell you where it is, but they will tell you it's coming up, you should slow down. So having a dash cam telling you there's speed camera coming up, it's kind of in the gray area. I don't think it's illegal or anything like that, but it's in the gray area. I suppose if there's no camera, some people will speed, but it's really not necessary. And it's kind of loud too. is a beautiful little part of the driving. Look at that view up ahead. There, I just focused that. Just see, look at that distance. It is a lighter car. Today is pretty windy, so yeah. So the car kind of wobbles a little bit, gets knocked around with the crosswind. It is a lighter car. See, in the sports mode earlier, I was talking about acceleration. The acceleration on the sports mode is pretty good. You can. Oh, wait a minute. There is the highway patrol car. It looks different than the regular police car. It's made that way. We call it a zebra. We call this highway patrol car zebra. And then they're strictly BMWs. So they are the faster cars. Regular cop cars are, I think they use some kind of Ford type car. I don't know. They're not particularly fast or anything like that. They don't have a lot of technology in their police car, but they are what they are. In the city, it's good enough for pursuit, you know. And yeah, but then the highway ones, everybody loves the highway one because they're the BMWs, and then they have that design with the stripes. So the highway ones is really cool. Look at this traffic. Oh yeah. That's turning over here. No, it's a little bit off. Can't really see my face. There we go. But you can't really see my face still. Can I adjust it a little bit? Oh, that's good. You see my forehead? Yeah, I got my sports can on my forehead for recording. Anyway, now this is my smartphone, my new phone. It's a Zenfone 7. So what you're seeing right now is a flip camera. So since there'll be some traffic, I turn to myself. Let's have a little bit of, I suppose, a little bit of ending here. Okay, so as a driver's car, the BMW 118i, it's pretty good. It drives very smoothly. It has some acceleration when it's on sports mode. Especially it drives smoothly. It's such a comfortable car to drive, to be in. Even with my colleagues sitting in the back seat, there was one point we're driving including myself, 5 people in this car. They're able to stay comfortably for over an hour I'll drive. And obviously they're skinnier than I am, but still, they was able to sit in here in the back seat comfortably. And when my colleagues are sitting in the back, they said the seats are so comfortable that they can fall asleep because when you sit in the back, the way the seat is, it's very much like the front seat. So it's very comfortable. Sorry. It's very comfortable. And then yeah, everybody likes it. It's comfortable in here. And when you don't need to, what's going on here? Everybody's getting, when you don't need to, hold on, just let me, okay. So, when you don't need that many people in the car, and when you need to carry some cargo, this car can actually carry some cargo. I've calculated for the length somewhere around 125, 130 centimeter, and then for the width is somewhere around 80 or 90 centimeter, and then the height somewhere around 50, 60, somewhere there. Carry a bunch of light demos from work, filled out the back, where normally you will try to get a station wagon to carry these things. Pickup trucks are not really a thing here unless if you're doing some kind of delivery. So station wagons are usually the car of choice if you want to carry things in cars or taxi and things like this. So anyway, usually you will need things like a station wagon taxi to carry, but it was not necessary. So we were using this car, carrying all this stuff, not a problem. 5 people in the car, not a problem. So if you bought this car, you worry about cargo space, there's nothing much to worry about. Unless if you're setting 5 people in, of course. The boot is okay. The trunk, it's got decent space, you can put things, but it's not exactly large like a real trunk. So yeah, so again, you utilize it. The seats come down so easily, you just utilize it. It's not a problem. I think that's what this car is all about. It's about how you utilize it. Everything's there, everything's nice, but none of those things are the best. But then they make it so easy, so accessible. You learn to utilize your own way. I think that's what this car is about. You can have a personality with this car. You can have your own personality with this car, and I think that makes it pretty good.